What's up, guys? So I've been playing Prot Paladin for like 2 years, 3-ish years. I think three. So 3 years. So I'm gonna be doing a Prot Paladin guide for fun. So I'm gonna go over abilities, essences, Azurite traits, corruptions. Yeah. So we're just gonna go over that. We'll start with talents. We're just gonna go over each row, which one's viable, which ones I would stay away from. First row, level 15, I would go Holy Shield or Blessed Hammers. Either is good. I think Holy Shield's probably better, at least to me, but you could use both. I think Blessed Hammers, though, is really good in like heavy Fizz dungeons like King's Rest and Altazar. That's just me. I wouldn't go with Redoubt. That's just kind of RNG. I'd go with Holy Shield. Um, I'd go with Crusader's Judgment overall, because it gives you every time you get a Grand Crusader proc, which you get pretty frequently, especially if you pull big. It gives you Judgment. Judgment in turn reduces cooldown Shield of Righteous, and you want to keep uptime on that as much as possible. So it just kind of helps you keep the uptime. Staggers damage makes you take less damage. So row 30, I would just go Crusader's Judgment. I would stay away from Bastion of Light and First Avenger. I wouldn't really recommend this because if you were to go this, you would just go Memory Lucid Dreams. In essence, major. We'll get into that later, but I would just say Crusader's Judgment only in row 30, row 45, Fist of Justice. You're spamming judgments a lot, and you're getting them up a lot if you're playing, Crusader's Judgment, so it kind of synergizes. You could go it. Personally, I like Blinding Light. It's just a good AOE stun / kick, mainly a kick. So it's just a nice thing to have. So I would recommend this. Retribution Aura for row 45. I would just go Blinding Light or Fist of Justice. Retribution Aura, really not good. Even in bigger pools, I still wouldn't go it. Doesn't really do a lot of damage. Cavalier, I would really only go if you're going King's Rest Altazar. Spell Warding is really nice to have because a lot of dungeons are magical heavy. I'm pretty sure. I only have like 2 KIO, so I'm not the best. But the reason I like it more than Bop is because when you put it on yourself, it doesn't drop aggro like Bop would. If Bop goes on you as a tank, whether it be a Holy Paladin bopping you or yourself, you just drop aggro and it's a mess. You don't want it. I'd only go Bop for King's Rest or Altazar. Not even for yourself though. For your teammates, like Razan grabs one of them, you can bop them, stop the damage. Axes in the council, pretty annoying. You could use it for that. So Cavalier or Spell Warding, Cavalier is more of a mobility thing than anything else. 75, or that's row 60. So Cavalier, Spell Warding, row 75. They're all pretty viable. I think a couple stand out more than others. Hand of the Protector just turns you Light of the Protector into just a castable, basically a castable heal. You can put it on any one of your teammates. It's decent. You could go it. I used to go it a lot in 8.2. I don't really do it now. Unbreakable just gives you Lay in Hands, Divine Shield, and Ardent Defender. Hours at 30%, so that's great. This goes, I think, was this 2 minutes? It goes to like 1.3 or some shit, 1.5. So that's nice to have. Final Stand, I personally use the most. I find it the best. So when you Divine Shield and you're really low, let's say, oh fuck, your healer's stunned, or I don't know, something happened to your healer, right? He's CC'd. Or you're just getting low in general and he's having a hard time healing everybody. Like in Bursting, maybe. Divine Shield. And guess what? If you're playing Spell Warding, you can fucking put that shit on him. Neither of you take damage, and you can just off heal with a Flash of Light or Hop if you have it. Oh, well, you wouldn't have Hop. So, anyway, Divine Shield, and you keep all the aggro on you. Basically, it's a immunity strength of the Warden, essentially. I like it. I think it's good to have. Judgment of Light's okay. I wouldn't go Age of the Light ever in Mythic Plus. Maybe I'm not really a raider, so maybe like a niche raiding thing for a fight or some shit, but I don't even think so. I would just stay away from it. Consecrated Ground, I think, is massive to have in terms of just like kiting when you're getting low. Let's say for the beach pool on Toldigar, when you pull the beach, you have the pinchers. You also have the the health the health debuff that stacks. So you can just kind of kite him away, kite him over, keep aggro. You know, it's nice, especially for necrotic too when you're trying to drop necrotic stacks. Judging my life, it's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's lackluster. I think it's okay to go though if you really wanted to. Helps the healer out a little bit, I guess. I'd go Consecrated Ground though. Here, all three of these are really viable. For this asset, for Seraphim though, you want to play Memory Lucid Dreams in your major or minor though, to help. I'll explain why later. Righteous Protector, every time you use Shield of Righteous, reduces Avenging Wrath, our nice big cooldown, and our Light of Protector, our self-heal. That's really good. I think that one's pretty good. It's pretty close to Last Defender. Last Defender is pretty huge, especially like I'm weeks here pulling big, or not even, honestly, you know, even if you like 3 to 4 targets, you're getting a pretty substantial use out of it. So Last Defender, I think, is probably the best one, but Righteous Protector probably trails close behind, and they're all really close in my opinion. They're all pretty close. We'll go over some essences. Oops. So like I was saying, Memory Lucid Dreams, we'll just go into that because I said it twice. So for Bastion of Light, you have 100% increase in Righteous recharge rate, so especially if you're using Judgments. So there's really no need for that anymore. You can just replace it with a minor. Or major, rather. And then for the minor for Seraphim, as you can see, we can all read it together. Shield of Righteous and Seraphim have a chance to refund, or a 50% chance. Oh, fuck. Oh, I can't even read. I can't remember. Have a chance to refund 50% of the charges consumed, right? So you'll get one back on Seraphim, which is really nice. It's good. I like it a lot. Because sometimes maybe you use 2, right? You only have 2, you Seraphim, and then you get one back, so it's kind of nice because you don't have to spam Judgments right away. I'm going versatile stack right now, so I'm just running Conflict and Strife and Ages of the Deep. It's Nullification Dynamo, which is kind of silly because I just said you wanted that in the minor. I don't know. I didn't really do it because I didn't feel like it. We'll just get all these now. Strength of the Warden, really good minor, in my opinion. Major on Skittish. Or you could run it in general because it does, increase damage by 50%. And especially if you're running like a trinket like Murax Fang, it does really good damage. But anyway, really good minor just because when you're on Consecration, you get dodge and parry chance. Right, so increases your chance to block melee. You got a nice amount of parry. So it's just kind of good to have, good healing. Crucible Flame, good single target damage. Doesn't really offer any survivability. You can kind of off heal with it a little bit. Like let some guys at half, you can pop them with 1 or 2, get them up, kind of stabilize them a little bit till the healer can get to them. Ages of the Deep, great minor. Wouldn't go major for it. Anima, unless you're stacking Twilight Devs and you want the health for the Twilight Devs proc, I wouldn't really recommend it. I would just stay away. And if you wanted it for aggro, you just go Strength of the Warden. So it's kind of like, it's kind of not really good. I could see maybe if you're pulling big and you want the heal instead of, the damage. I'd stay away from it. Conflict and Strife, good minor. I would keep it just consistent. Procs, great uptime, pretty good. Memory of Lucid Dreams, we already discussed it, really good. Heals you, gives you Seraphim, or gives you Righteous procs back, and some versatility, which is good. Nullification Dynamo, generally, like you could play it all the time if you wanted to, or in Magic Heaven Dungeons, does damage too when it explodes, and it's good during bursting. Pretty good. In necrotic weeks, I really only use it then. And necrotic week slows auto attacks and slows them and gives you some haste too. So, I mean, really good in that scenario. I wouldn't use it outside of that. Touch of the Everlasting, pretty good. You could use it in a major if you wanted to. I feel like you're kind of losing out on stuff if you do. The minor, I guess you could use. I wouldn't really use it though. Just personally, I wouldn't. You could though, if you wanted to. Vision of Perfection. You could run it in the major, I guess. But I would run it in the minor. If anything, I'd run it in the minor. Just reduce it by 25%. So I think it'd be like 1.5, right? Yeah. Whirlwind Resonance. I mean, I would really only go it if one of your DPS, like maybe your DPS are stacking it, and that they don't have enough uptime on it because not enough people have it. So I'd really only put it in the minor for that scenario. Other than that, wouldn't really go it. Just stay away from it. Um, if you have it, you can put it in a major, have another nice little cooldown. Pretty good. I would use it in major. Minor, it doesn't seem too bad. I guess you could use it in the minor. It's just like a smaller Shield of Righteous. So I guess you could, yeah, I guess you could in your minor if you wanted to. Formless Void. Yeah, you could use in your major, I guess. You want to steal someone's Azerite Beam, you could do that. I think the minor is more efficient. I think it's better. I'd probably use a minor. I think it's probably pretty good. It's decent, I would imagine. Yeah, so that's just an overview of good majors, good minors. So let's go over good majors really quick. Good major, Strength of Warden, Crucible of Flame, Memory of Lucid Dreams, Touch of the Everlasting is pretty decent, and I guess Vision if you're into that. Actually, nah, cancel that. It's an okay one. Good minors, Strength of Warden, Aegis of the Deep, Conflict of Strife, Nullification Dynamo, Suppression only on necrotic weeks, and Vision. Yeah. Oh, and Formless Void. And then good majors too. I forgot Azure, Essence Dying Gift. And then we'll go over essences really fast. We'll hit up some essences. Your number one you're going to look out for is Bulk of Light. You're going to want to triple stack it. I think there is DR on it though, which still you want to stack it. Yeah, it looks like after 2 there's a DR, which doesn't really matter. So 22, you know, do the math because you guys can already tell what's that 44. It's like 60k, almost like 60, maybe 62, 61k every time you get an Avengers Shield out. So that's really good. Definitely want to do that for sure. Triple stack that, and then ideally you'd have one Inspiring Vanguard. I just happen to have 2 because I wanted Bulk of Light and I don't mind it. You definitely want one Inspiring Vanguard, one Soaring Shield, and then I don't know. I guess your third one you can kind of fuck around with because I'm forgetting like which one you'd want. I can't think of the name, but yeah. So those, and then in our third row, you can kind of like play around with it. If you're like more like a damage, I just want to. Those 2 ways of tanking: live forever or kill everything really fast, so you don't take any damage. Ablative Painting, I think is pretty decent. Bulk of the Masses isn't bad. Elemental Whirl is pretty decent because we benefit a lot from Haste, Versa, and Mastery. So those 3 really get crit. It's alright. So that's not a really bad one. Because chance that you have a chance to get 2 defensive stats out of that. Crystalline Carapace is kind of lackluster. I just have it because I like to live forever, I guess. There's really not really a good one on this one. And then I guess this tiny little row. Oh, and then one Overwhelming Power. I would like to have one. Haste is good to have always, obviously, in most classes. And Passive Visage, super fucking good. 10k healing every 6 seconds. You stack it, that's 20. I don't know if there's a DR on it, so I would say 30 every 6 seconds if you had it. This will easily be like in your top 6 healing at the end of a dungeon. It does so much work. Really can't say enough about it. I would keep it. Yeah, really good. Those are the talents. You always want 3 Bulk of Lights, 3 Bulwarks, 1 Soaring Shield, 1 Inspiring Vanguard, and then I can't think of the other one. I guess Light's Decree you wouldn't really get unless you're like a Holy Paladin or a Rat. I mean, I guess you could if you wanted an extra 5 seconds, but I don't think we really need it that bad in Wings. It's just something silly if you wanted to pick it. I don't know why I said it. I never said that. Don't just forget about it. Corruptions, you could go Mastery, full Masterful if you wanted to. I kind of think it's really good if you did. I haven't really tried it yet, but I'm going to, so I'll let you know how it goes. I have like a couple pieces of gear. I think I have 2 pieces with Masterful on it. So I'm just kind of gearing up to get, Haste Mastery gear. I'll let you know how that goes. But for now, the safe pick would just be stacking Versa, Versatile 3. You could put a Surging Vitality in there. I don't think most people do. I think they just go all Versa. Yeah, and then we'll go over Trinkets too. I should say that in the video. We'll go over Trinkets. So obviously, I always like to have one shield trinket. So like either Psychic Shell or Sigil of Warding. Good on use trinkets, gives you shield up to 350k. Psyche shell's a lot bigger, and then this is kind of like a flavor pick. I personally think it's pretty good. It's always like my top. Usually it's fourth or fifth in my healing. Lingering spore pods. It does a lot of work, honestly. I don't know. Maybe it's a little slept on. Almost a 2% chance at proc. It procs obviously pretty often if I get fucking, you know, it's fourth or fifth on my healing chart at the end of a dungeon. Corrupted Gladiator, super great versus trinket, or you could just alternatively, if you don't want like PvP, pick up Alchemy, grab an Alchemist Stone, and you get a socket so you can get more verse. You get like 270 verse off that, I think, or something. It's like something around there, ballpark. This would just be, I guess, if you're going a masterful build, which again I'm trying to do, or trying to test down. So this would be like really good damage, obviously. I think everyone should have a Mirax Fang. It does so much fucking damage. Like, I'll just run over here and I'll spray this guy. I'll move the healing chart right there. So, fuck. All right, we'll do that later. I'll keep talking. This is okay. I kind of play around with it. I wouldn't recommend it. It's only every 3 minutes, and it's not on use, so I wouldn't really recommend it. But if you couldn't get Sigil Warding, and you couldn't get Psychic Shell, I would probably default to Bandages from King's Rest, the second boss, Machiba. I'd probably go those over everything else. And then if you really can't get that and you're having bad luck, you could just go do PvP and get that, I guess. I would recommend either, honestly, you'd always want a haste proc. I'd go Humming Dragon Scale, Razan's Gleaming Eye, or Vita Charge Titan Shard from Rodin. I'd always have a non-use trinket and a haste trinket. That's just me. But we'll just see how much Mirax Fang. Mirax Fang's really good. Oh, what the fuck did that come from? Alright, here we go. Just look at that damage pump. Oh. Yeah, I don't know why I did that, but it does a lot of damage. So, there you go. Yeah, it's really good. That's about it. I guess I could do rotation. I'll just show a couple little things. So like when you're casting, I say like too much. When you're casting Avenger's Shield, right? So you throw it, you get Avenger's Valor, which increases your Shield of Righteous. So it goes from well now it's it's just 20k. So it's 20k armor versus your 16,782. So it's like 2k, something like that, ballpark. Yeah. And then, Judgment reduces your Shield of Righteous. So you always want to have, you always want to be casting Judgment so you can have a high Shield of Righteous uptime. And like I said, Crusader Judgment plays into that when you get a Grand Crusader proc. So, just boom, get those on as much as you can. Always make sure you have Consecration down. The damage mitigation is really nice to have always. Don't forget, you are a prot paladin, so you are like a Swiss Army knife. You have a nice big fat heal. Maybe the healer's low on bursting week, or he's just low in general, and everyone else is pretty low, and he's trying to heal everyone. Throw him a blessings a lot, or fuck. You can throw him a hot lay on hands, get him full health. Maybe someone's gonna hit by a Molten Slug, they're about half. Throw blessings of sacrifice on him, but be careful because you do take 100% of the damage. So either pop a coolie when you do it, or if you're full health, obviously don't worry about it. But just be aware of that. I'll just really just try to use your shit as much as possible. Yeah, that's about it. Just I guess those little small things. I guess if you want to go into races, I think probably Torrent is the best. Mass purges are really nice, especially if you lack one. It is every 2 minutes, but it's an AoE purge, so if like Bone Shields get off, you can purge that. The Shellwater Dome and Toldigar, you can purge that if you miss a kick. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the guide. Thanks for looking at my ugly face this whole time. I appreciate it. I guess I'll give you some kisses. Get out there. Let me know if you think this was trash or you thought it was good. Let me use some kisses.